Hey, kindergarten, first grade, and second graders. Today, we are going to be using those 5 basic elements of shape that we learned about last week to make a picture. And our picture is going to be of a dancing cow. I hope that you guys already watched the video, Moo Moo in a Tutu, because it's a really, really funny story. So let's get started on our dancing cow. All right, so this is, you don't need a lot of materials for this activity or for this project. I'm using Sharpie. I would suggest that you do it with pencil first so that you can change things if you don't like the way that you did them. And then when you like the way that it looks, you can go over it with a black pencil or black crayon or a Sharpie. I'm gonna go ahead and just do mine with a Sharpie so you can see it better. All right, so I am going to start out with my cow, with my cow's head. Now, here are some examples of different positions that your dancing cow can be in. If you want your cow to be standing on his hands or her hands, then you're gonna need to make the head a little bit closer to the bottom of the paper. If you want your cow dancing on its legs, then you are going to have to make your head closer to the top. I'm going to go ahead and make mine closer to the top for this example. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and you want to make sure you don't want it to be too small and you don't want it to be too big. You're just going to have to kind of play around with it to make sure that you get a good size. So I'm going to start by making the letter U. And I think that that'll be a good size. Now, when I made the letter U, what kind of a line was I using? A curved line, because it bends, but it does not have any corners, okay? So my next step is I'm going to start at the top of that letter U, of that curved line, and I'm gonna make another curved line. And it's gonna go out and then around, and then connect with the other side of the U. All right, my next step is another curved line. And that's one of the cow's horns, and then a second one, just like that. All right, now I'm going to make a circular shape from the circle family, and it is going to be my cow's nose, and then 2 circles in the middle of that for the nostrils. Now I'm going to make 2 dots for my cow's eyes. There we go. Now I'm done with my cow's head. Now we're making the black and white cow, so I'm going to make spots. I'm not going to color these in with my Sharpie. I'm going to color them in with a crayon later. All right, so there is my cow's head. My next step is I need to make the cow's body. So I have to decide, and you don't have to use any of these examples, but if you want to model yours after one of these, then feel free to do that. I think I'm gonna do mine like this. So let's see. So to do that, I'm looking at this line. It's like a curved line that starts kind of on the side of the cow's head, and it goes around and then back up like this. And of course the udders, if you're doing it in pencil, it's good because then you can erase that line that goes through. Actually, I might do the body in pencil so I can do just that. So let's see. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to make, starts about right there. I may have made my cow, oh, see, I'm glad that I did it in pencil because I made it a little bit too. And then it comes down from the, if you look right here, it's right about in the middle of the cow's, the bottom of his head, his chin. That's what you want to call it. So right here. And then the udders come out like this. All right, and then the arm is like this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just start now with the Sharpie. Let's see, other arm is kind of behind its head. And then the legs down here, I got one coming down like this. And then one is kind of kicked back. Curved lines, lots of curved lines. Oh, there we go. All right, now I'm going to make more spots on my cow. All right, there we go. Now, the next step is we have to make a horizon line. So the horizon line is where the sky and the ground meet. You can have a flat horizon line if you want your land to look flat. If you want it to look like there's hills, and you can draw curvy lines, or you can even do mountains. I'm gonna do just a wavy line. I think I'm gonna do it about right here. Now, the horizon line is behind the cow, so I can't see it. I can't see through the cow, so I'm just gonna jump over the cow. I'm gonna kind of pretend like I'm still drawing it, but then I'm actually jumping over the cow. And there we go. And now I wanna draw a fence on my horizon line, because my fence makes it look like, you know, cows, they have to be fenced in, or you can't have them roaming all over the place. So I'm gonna make my fence right on the horizon line. You can do it however you want. Here are my fence posts there. I've got an angled line. It's a straight line, and then an angled line, and then a straight line. Straight, angled, straight. And it's behind my cow, so I'll continue it over here. Straight line, angled line, straight line. And then the wood connecting the fence, I'm just gonna use straight lines. All right, there's my fence. All right, so my next thing that I'm going to do is color in my cow. I'm gonna use my black crayon to color the spots, and then the udders are pink, so I'm going to color those. Let me do those first, because I've got my pink crayon handy. And I think I may need to go grab a black crayon. Oh, somebody just came in. Hold on, let me pause this for a second. Okay, I am back with my black crayon. Now what I'm going to do is just color in all of the spots with black. So now they're changing. They were part of the circle family. Now they're part of the dot family because they are getting colored in. All right, so I'm going to pause this while I continue to color my spots, and then I will be back in a second. All right, so I am back. I've colored my cow spots, and I added some things that you see in the sky. I made curvy lines. I put the curved lines together to create clouds. This cloud is behind this cloud because you can't see the side that's behind it. Then I made a circle for the sun, and I used angled lines to make the sun's rays. And then I added some things that you would find in the grass on the ground, some flowers. So the next step is I'm going to take my, and you don't have to paint this, you can just color it if you want, but I always like to paint. So I'm going to paint my sky blue. Got to go around all of these shapes And I'm gonna keep my fence white, so I'm gonna paint around the fence. Now, even though my cow looks like, you know, he's above the horizon line, because the bottom of the cow is under the horizon line, that means that the cow is on the ground. And it's the same with the fence. The fence is at that horizon line, and so that means that it's actually on the ground, even though when you look at it, it kind of looks, you know, it's up above the horizon line, but because the bottom of it is under the horizon line, then that means that it is on the ground. All right, so I'm just gonna continue to paint my sky blue, and then when I'm done with my sky, I'm going to paint the ground underneath the horizon line green. So I am going to turn this off and I'll be back in a moment. All right, I am done. I painted everything, or my sky blue, the top on top of the horizon line, and my grass green. So there is my dancing cow. Can't wait to see your work, guys. Bye.